Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing on today? Okay, first of all, I'm fangirling because I get to hang out with Darby Baham. Y'all already know this is my shoe loving book nerd friend. I love her. Oh my goodness, guys. And guess what? She has another one that's hot off the press. Are y'all ready for this? Check out that cover, guys. I don't know if you can see that. Her New York Minute. Oh my goodness, guys. This is a good one. This is book 4 in the Friendship Chronicles series. And Darby has just been, giving us hit after hit after hit with this series. So, guys, welcome to the cafe on today. I definitely show Barbie some love on today as well. And of course, you guys already know what to do. Like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come on down and hang out with us here at the cafe. Y'all know we're probably going to talk about some shoes as well, because the shoes is always going to be somewhere in her books as well. I love that. I love it. Darby, they are giving you love. We have Caitlin hanging out with us on today. Hey, Caitlin, thank you for joining us.
Hi,
We have
Caitlin.
Helen Gibson hanging out with us. Helen, if you
Hi,
have
Helen.
not read a Darby Baham, my friend, oh my goodness, you have to start with this series. It's the Friendship Chronicles. She led us off with the Shoe Diaries. And of course, we have Ola hanging out with us on today
Hi,
as well.
Helen.
All right, Darby, I'm super excited. I know you're super excited, my friend. Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, first of all, Angela, thank you for having me on. I always enjoy our conversations online and offline. So I'm excited for tonight. But thank you everybody for joining. I'm excited that's my friend Candace. Hey, Candace. Um, I'm excited to talk to you guys beyond the literary cafe tonight. A little bit about me, if you have never read any of my books, if you don't know anything about me, I like to call myself a storyteller on a mission to make women like me feel seen and believe that love is possible for them. Yes, them, because sometimes you need that second reassurance, right? And so, as Angela mentioned, I am the author of the Friendship Chronicles series with Harlequin Special Edition. Her New York Minute just came out last week, 1 week ago today. So it's the 4th book in the series with more on the way. So I'm really excited about that.
I love that. And Darby, you started off spilling the tea, guys. She just told us that this is book 4 in the series, but more is to come. So I love
More
that. I
on
love
the
that. Y'all know
way.
we love to get tea here at the cafe as well. And guys, if you are just joining us, like I said earlier, like, tag, and share. Tell a friend to come on down. Come get some tea as we talk with Darby, I don't know why I don't want to call you Barbie on
There's so
today.
much Barbie stuff
With
going on in the
Darby
world.
on today for her. Maybe it's the pink. Maybe it's the pink in the cover
Maybe.
for her New York Minute. And Darby already know. See, this is how Darby get me. Okay. See, Darby will do a cover reveal. And she already know I be about to lose my mind. I be like, Darby. I be like, oh my goodness, Darby, you got to come to the cafe. Like, I mean, I just see the cover. That's all I see. And then Darby give me some details. She give us a little blurb and all that good stuff. But Darby, your covers throughout the Friendship Chronicles series have been amazing, my friend. But
Thank
we got to talk about this one, her New York Minute. Tell us what it was like when you saw this cover, because you already know, Darby. She had
I know
me
you
at
went
them
right to the
shoes.
shoes. You went right to the shoes. If you guys can't see, she has on some bright yellow stilettos there. So I know Angela went right to the shoes. So actually, Angela, I don't know if you know this, but it is a scene in the book. Well,
Mhm.
you've read it, so you know it's a scene in the book. So I was really excited when I saw it because if you know anything about Harlequin's art process, you give them a bunch of information, and they use that to go and like develop this great thing. But I was excited to see that they took that exact scene and thought that it was that important to put on the cover. So yeah.
Right. I love that. I love that. Let's see. Helen said that you are a new to her author. Helen, you are in for a treat, my friend. You are in for a treat. Hello, Sharon.
Nice to
Thank you
meet
for
you,
joining us
Helen.
on today. We have Veronica Lockett. Hanging out with us, we have Mama Tony of Mama Tony's Book Nook hanging out with us on today. Antoinette Gates is hanging out with us on today. Tiffany Jones of Tips Happy Place hanging out with us on today. They are also giving you some love as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Darby, thank you for sharing with us about the cover. So, guys, we actually also spilled some tea. If you have not read the book yet, you will know when you get to it in the book, because as Darby has stated, this is a scene from the book that they have taken as well. Okay, see, Helen, you
Choose
our
for the
girl.
win. Yeah.
See, shoes for the win. Oh my goodness, we are shoe lovers here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, Darby, in addition to this amazing cover, you know where I'm going next. This title, oh my goodness, Her New York Minute. And guys, let me tell you, once you read this story, the title is perfect. Okay, the title is definitely perfect as well. But Darby, was this your original working title, my friend, or this title kind of evolved, or you kind of threw several titles in the hat? Tell us about this title.
Well, so Angela, I am awful with titles. That is not my ministry. I know some authors have titles that they start off with the title. I do not. I write the book and then I throw out a bunch of titles to my editor, and then she comes back and says like, "Oh, well maybe it's this, maybe it's that, that kind of thing." The only book that I've ever had a title for before I started writing was The Shoe Diaries.
Oh,
The rest of them
okay.
have come after. And actually that kind of works for me because by the time the book is written, it's sort of like you said, it by the end of the book kind of what the title needs to at least include, right? So like we knew that it needed to include something about New York because she's coming on this new journey to New York. It needed to be something about, things happening suddenly and unexpectedly. And there's a line in the book where one of the characters says, things can happen in a New York minute, right? They're
Yep.
like, you never thought that it might happen that way. And so it just
Right.
worked together like kismet almost. That like here's, you get to see Olivia's journey and it's her New York minute, right? It's her
Right.
learning to embrace what can happen that's outside of your plans that's better than your plans.
I love that. I love that. Guys, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with Darby Baham on today, guys. Her New York Minute. It is live and in color. It is hot off the press. We are celebrating her new release with her, and it's always fun to have Darby to come and to hang out with us to talk about her books. Now, Darby, for those who may be new to you, can you share with them what inspired this series, the Friendship Chronicle series?
Sure. So it started off with, a humble book of the Shoe Diaries, right? Where I wanted to tell this story about a young woman who I had experienced it and had spoken to a bunch of my friends about this idea of checking off all the list of shoulds and not feeling fulfilled, right? So I've done all the things that I was supposed to do, and yet there's something that feels like it's missing. And so I wanted to tell that story. And in that story, I wanted to tell this, what helps her get to the point that she can trust herself again, and she would take on this big risk of a second chance romance. Because if you haven't read the Shoe Diaries is a second chance romance.
Yeah.
And so in order to do that, in my personal life, it's my friend circle that grounds me in important and hard work that I do for myself. And so I needed that to happen in Reagan's story as well, who's the
Mhm.
main character of the Shoe Diaries. And so, yes, you're seeing her journey to trusting herself, her journey to giving this, ex of hers that she still loved a second chance. But as part of that, you have this friendship circle that, is like, they're the ones who are the angels sitting on the shoulder, right? They're the ones
Yeah.
who when it feels like it's too hard for her to do. They're the ones who are, encouraging her, lovingly challenging her at times,
Yeah.
and saying like, I know that you have all these reasons for why you shouldn't do it, but you got this and we got you, right?
Yes.
It
Yes.
started off with just that one idea, and then as I've, continued writing it, I don't believe in having any two-dimensional characters in a book.
Mm.
And so then you started to see all these other characters within that first book that, thankfully Harlequin was like, well, we want to know what happens with Jennifer, and we want to know what happens
Yeah,
with
like they
Robin.
need a story, and they need a story, and they need a story. Yes.
And I was
I
like,
love it. I
yeah.
love it. I love that. I love that. Guys, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with Darby Baham. Guys, it is always a good time when we are hanging out with her. She is spilling a little bit of tea about her latest release, her New York Minute. Guys, let me just tell you, this is such a fun, fast-paced read. Darby, okay. So you hit us with a headliner on that plane ride coming back. She's coming to New York from London. And that's one of the things that I love about this series too, how you incorporate London and the UK with, stateside, all of that good stuff. And then on top of that, the friendships and the realness of the friendships. Because, when you're with your girls, all that good stuff as well. But one thing that I want to talk about, I love a meet cute.
I
And
love me
y'all,
too,
if you
yeah.
know anything about Olivia, okay, she is not a meet cute kind of girl. Okay, that's just not her thing. But I love this meet cutes, y'all. She has her y'all know us heavy packers, I ain't gonna say no names, but us heavy packers, all that good stuff. And it's this carry-on that's super duper heavy. And she probably got it filled to the brim, okay? And so she puts it in the overhead hanger or what have you. And so of course, when people at the end, people ready to get off the plane. So she holding up the people, guys. She is holding up the people because she can't get her bag down, her carry-on down. And
And not just
so this
any other people. She's holding up a plane full of New Yorkers. Let's be clear, right? They
See,
don't have
see,
the
I'm
time.
from the South, so we might have a little more patience, but they was in New York, okay? They was in New York. And they ready to get, they starting to side eye her, they starting to hum and whatever. So this nice, fine, sexy gentleman, he was like, do you need some help?
She's like, well, yes, I do.
She was like, well, yes, I do. And so it starts from there. And the funny part, Darby, we just gonna give y'all a little bit of tea of this meet cute, okay? And it's important to know about this meet cute because Liv was not a meet cute kind of girl, okay? So it was funny, Darby, like, okay, she like, okay, we don't get off the plane. I done told him thank you several times. Okay, he gonna go his way and I'm gonna go my way.
Yeah.
Well, it began with, he instead of walking, they walking and talking. But y'all, she's kind of enjoying his company. They walking and talking. They hadn't really said what their names are, but they got a little banter going on and all this good stuff too. But Darby, tell us about that meet cute. What was that like for you writing that scene? Because it's like a chapter and a half,
Yeah.
of that meet cute.
Well, writing it was so much fun, right? Because, like you said, Olivia is not only is she not a meet cute person, she's coming to New York with every intention of not dating, right? Like
Not dating.
she does not want to meet someone right now.
Y'all,
And
she's
so like,
she is
I'm
focused in
coming
her career.
to exactly. She has a specific end goal in mind. She is,
Mhm.
very focused, as you said, Angela. And so, like I said, it's sort of, I really enjoyed picturing and then writing, well, what happens when you have this specific focus and then you have this embarrassing moment on a plane and all of a sudden there's this very attractive, very charming, very like, all the things that you would want, right? If you were someone who wanted to
Darby,
date.
you got to pull out the
Right.
fans
Right.
out.
Very steamy man. Um, like, what do you do in that moment? Because she is struggling. She's like, I mean, I'm not blind, so I get that he's attractive, right? But
Look,
she's like,
y'all,
"I need time for that."
he was giving her like all the feels, like
Yeah,
and she's trying to keep it like straight, like man, she's
yeah,
trying to keep it together, but she really wanted to like just swoon out, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that. I love that. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're hanging out with Darby, her New York Minute, as well. And she is sharing a little bit about this particular story. Now, Darby, and of course, we know that this is a series. So there are some other characters that they make appearances in this particular story as well. For example, Reagan is definitely there. Reagan is going to be, in New York. Is going to help, live, kind of, get acclimated to the New York life, all that good stuff as well. But for you, Darby, when you think about her New York Minute and the order of the series, because we know that there's going to be some other books as well. For this particular book, what came first? Was it the characters? Because you had to add some new characters as well.
Mhm.
Was it the characters or was it the plot with Liv's story?
Oh, well, I don't know if they were it was kind of both, right?
Oh,
So,
okay.
I knew that so a little bit of background is that Harlequin was offering me a second 3-book deal. And so that's
Okay.
why I knew that I wanted to introduce some more characters in this friendship group because we needed books 4, 5, and 6 to happen, right?
Uh-huh.
But I didn't quite know who they were going to be yet. And then I knew that I had this idea that I wanted her New York Minute to sort of be a foil to London Calling, which was the third
Oh,
one.
okay.
So
Yeah.
so if you think about it, so Robin moves to London, right?
Mhm.
She leaves her friends, she moves to London, and she already has the promotion. She's not going there
Right.
to really do that, but she's going there to say, I've had all these disappointments in my love life. I am going to find my person in
Right.
this new country, right? And what happens? She ends up going through a whole bunch of rigmarole
Y'all, them dates. Oh my,
before
go read London Call, okay? Them dates.
she goes through some stuff, before she actually meets her person. I won't
Yeah.
spoil who that ends up being, right? And so I thought, okay, well, I wanted to tell Olivia's story, and Olivia is actually dating someone in London Calling. Um,
Uh,
Angela's face. She was dating
look,
someone in London Calling.
all we gonna say is David. But anyway, we count
So
Team Thomas, but but David, okay.
right. David was a person. And so it really started off with like, okay, well, let me flip them, right? So Olivia comes to New York for a finite amount of time, and she is the opposite. She does not want to date. She just broke up with her boyfriend and
Mhm,
she is just focused on her career. And so what
mhm.
happens for her? Well, she meets the person before she even gets off the plane, right? Because that's how life, trolls us sometimes.
Right,
And
look,
so for
and really,
Olivia,
she was trying to like this is not happening. Like this
yeah,
is not like I
she
don't
tried
even
to fight
know
it.
him. Like I just met him on a plane. I can't be having these
She tried to
feelings.
fight it, but that's what we all do, right? We all try to fight the things, or I won't speak for y'all. I, on occasion, will try to fight when I didn't plan for the thing. And that doesn't mean that it's a bad, like, that it's something bad that has happened. But if I didn't plan for it, my first instinct is to be like, wait now, this wasn't a part of my grand, like, I have meticulously planned what this is going to be. why,
You're right.
why would it be anything different, right? And so that's where Olivia is, and I just thought that it would be fun to tell that story. It ended up being a whole lot more of a vulnerable story than I thought it was going to be, but
Mhm.
it initially started off with just like, well, how fun would it be to tell the opposite of the Robin story? And
Right.
that as a way to introduce these 2 new characters that, when you read it, you'll realize that they've been around for a while, but 2 new
Right.
characters to the reader. Um, in a way that makes sense. It makes sense that they would have been there all this time and you wouldn't have met them yet.
I love that. I love that. And Darby, Myra is with you. She said, "Me too, Darby. Me too."
You understand? We're here, Myra.
Yes, yes. And guys, if you have a question or two, be sure to put it in the comment section for Darby to answer as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're having a great time hanging out with Darby on today, guys. This is book 4 in the Friendship Chronicles series. And this one is her New York Minute. And Darby, I want to talk a little bit about, because I know they're on the edge of their seats. They're ready for you to read the snippet to them. So guys, we're gonna get to that. But before then, let's talk about these characters a little bit. Of course, guys, she told us this is Olivia's story. Olivia is coming from London to New York, and she has to spend a year in New York because this is determining whether she will get this promotion that she want for her job that she is currently in or what have you. So she's here. So it's her New York Minute. This is her story. We've already said she had a meet cute while on the plane, getting ready to get off the plane, all this good stuff. So she told us a little bit about Liv's character. Okay, now Darby, I'll let you just a little bit of David. Can you just tell them a little bit about David? Just a little bit. Now, we ain't gonna spend too much time on David, but just a little bit.
So I mean, I think if you are a person who has dated a lot or maybe just at all, I won't presume, but I would say that likely you have experienced a relationship that is with a David where it's like, he was perfectly fine on paper, but they didn't really match, right? And
Mhm.
so, in the ways that she liked to do everything extravagantly, he thought it was too much, right? In the ways that she has all these ambitions and goals, he really kind of resented that in her. And so it was kind of in a quiet way that she was settling. She was settling for just to be in a relationship, like just to say, I have someone, I'm in my 30s and I'm not single, basically. Um,
Mhm.
and her moving to New York sort of forces her to give up that relationship that had even her friends and her brother say that like, it's like it's it's not really, like, up to what you deserve, right?
Right, right. I
It's
was
not
like,
like he's abusive or anything like that.
right,
It's just that she's settling for someone who
ex-
isn't
right.
really, like, the match for her. And so but she is someone who has had a lot of people tell her, "You're too much, you're too ambitious, you're too that." And so
Yeah.
David is just along those same lines of what she has always
Mhm.
experienced. She doesn't really
Right.
think that she can have someone who will understand her, who will love her just as she is, who will
Mhm.
not try and change her and that kind of stuff. And so
Right.
David is the foil to Thomas. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. And look, speaking of that, you said Thomas. Thomas is swoon worthy, y'all. Let me just tell y'all, okay, he is swoon worthy. But tell us a little bit about Thomas.
Thomas, okay, so first of all, if you're wondering the inspiration of what Thomas like, what I envision him looking like, right? Think of the model Broderick Hunter.
Mm,
Or Google him because that is Thomas's physical inspiration.
okay.
Um, but in terms of who he is outside of that, he's a lawyer. He's lived in New York for over a decade. He actually, even though he's drawn to Olivia initially more so than she is, he's someone who has built his life as well, where he's like, I like my life. I can jaunt off to London.
Right.
He works in an
Mhm.
office where he works in New York and London. So he's like, I can jaunt off to London, on a
Yep.
whim, and I don't have to answer to anybody. Like he's just living this bachelor life in New York. But he's a good guy.
Mhm.
It's not that he isn't a good guy.
Mhm.
He's just he hasn't met that person who makes him want to like make any sacrifices, right? He's just he even
Right.
says
Mhm.
in a conversation that they have, and I don't know if you were planning to get into this, but in a conversation they have about a different world, he says like, if I ever get to the point that I'm in love with someone like that, I'm not taking the
Yes.
chance that
Mhm.
she's gonna walk down the aisle with someone else. Like I'm not, I'm not going to play around with that person's heart. So that it's something that
Mhm.
he has in him. He just hasn't
Yeah.
met that person to, sort of make him think like, maybe the bachelor way isn't something I want to do
Mhm.
going into my 40s, 50s, 60s kind of thing.
Yes, yes. I love that. And Darby, one of the things that I enjoy too about, of course, throughout the series, and you spoke about it a little while ago too, is again that friendship. And of course, guys, we have the original friends. And then in this book, she add a few more friends, which is super cool. And one of the things, Darby, that I want to talk about before you read and share a snippet with us, Darby, they are still giving you love about this cover, my friend. They are still giving you love
Thanks,
about this cover.
everyone.
I love it. Yes, it is a fun, flirty cover as well. And guys, if you're just joining us, hanging out with Darby at Baham, her New York Minute is what we are talking about. And we will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this fun read as well. But I love how, okay, guys, so they are getting ready to, there's a scene in here where they're getting ready to go to this get together. And the get together was called it was like the Everyday People Party or something like that. Was it
Yeah,
the Everyday People Party? And
yeah.
so, and this is kind of at the beginning, so it's not giving anything away. But as a part of the meet cute, he kind of he kind of like invites her kind of in a roundabout way, saying, "Hey, she was like, well, what's to get into in New York?" And he was like, "Well, there's this thing that's going on Saturday, whatever. You should pop up, blah blah blah." And so at first, Liv is like on the fence. She's like, well, I kind of focus. I'm starting this new position where a lot is riding on it. Da, 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 I'm focused. But anyway, let's just say they end up at this. They end up at this party, and so y'all know Darby. She gonna bring the shoes. Okay, she's gonna bring the shoes. And so okay, y'all, Liv have a whole from the shoe lovers. Liv have a whole, not Liv, Reagan has a whole shoe closet. I'm gonna let that sit right there. Now, my shoe lovers, y'all already know a shoe closet. Okay. And so they getting ready. Y'all know they're gonna be fly. They're gonna be dressed to the night, they're gonna be cute, all this good stuff. So Liz, Reagan gives her these shoes, guys, and they're like this pointed toe, olive green, and then they have like a little puff on the top
Mhm, mhm.
murals. Okay. And with the outfit that Liv is wearing, I mean, the shoes is just like bam, check me out. So I told Darby, I said, okay, well, I know these are pumps, but when you said olive green, I had to go to my shoes. Okay, y'all ready for this? Now I know this is a pump, but when she said
Hey.
olive green suede, I just thought of the shoes that I'm sorry. I see Darby be making me go there because y'all know. I mean,
A beautiful
shoes is
pump.
like inspiration. Okay, it's an inspiration. I was like, ooh, I can picture that shoe. But anyway, so Darby, I told Darby I was gonna share that pair of pumps because her, it was just I love it. I love it.
If you guys have some olive green shoes, please tell us in the chat as well. It's
Yes.
it's a color that I don't think a lot of people think. I mean, I'm amazed that you have it. I shouldn't be amazed because you have a very large shoe collection like I do. But it's not something that I think a lot of people think of red or they think of, black or tan. But unless you have a large shoe
Olive green?
collection, you're not really
Yeah.
thinking olive green, but it worked perfectly with her outfit.
It did. And Darby, I'll tell you this. This kind of make it blend. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. See, what had happened was when I got those shoes a couple of years ago, I actually went to an event. Okay, I gotta paint the picture. I went to an event and there was a shoe vendor there. Okay, first
Okay.
of all, that's the first mistake. They had a shoe vendor. Y'all,
Is it a
I was
mistake
trying
or
to
is it just
focus,
fate?
Darby, I was trying to focus on the event, but my eyes kept going to those olive green shoes that was on the table. And I
Yeah.
mean, they was calling me like, y'all know
Yeah.
your shoes. They was like, by me. They was like, Angela, I'm going home with you. Okay. And the
Right.
name of the vendor is Hill by Melrose. It let y'all know. Yeah, okay, okay. Anyway, because Darby, I digress. But anyway, okay, we had to talk about that. Darby, I'm gonna allow you, my friend, to set the scene because you getting ready to read us, give us a little snippet. Can you set the scene of what you're getting ready to share with us on today?
So actually, it's funny because I wanted to read a snippet from when they're at the Everyday People party. So you sort of set the scene already there a little bit. That was we didn't even plan that, y'all. What I will just say in addition is, so um, they Liv and Thomas meet a few different times, right? So as Angela mentioned, he sort of kind of says, well, you should come to this Everyday People party. If you've ever been to an Everyday People party, there are thousands of people. It's this huge day party. It happens in New York, but I think that they also travel across the country. And it's like good vibes, a great time. They're playing some current music too, but it's for like us older folks. So they're playing 90s music. There's good food, it's just everyone's just
Darby, the music, the
yeah.
music at the Everyday People party. Okay, Darby,
Rocking a
you
party.
you did that, Darby. I felt like I was there. I'm gonna let you read, but Darby, I felt like I was at the Everyday People party. Okay.
I'm glad. I'm glad. It is definitely my kind of party. And so, but basically, Liv is like, well, her friends convince her to go, so they go. She is not expecting to to run into Thomas. Um, but again, we said that Liv, she's very focused, right? So she's not expecting to run into Thomas. She does. Not only does she run, she really doesn't run into him. He finds her. And and it's awkward at first a little bit because she's like, did he find me in this crowd? That kind of thing.
Because y'all,
Um,
it's a lot of people there.
it's a lot of people there, right? Um, and so toward the end of the first chapter where they're at the Everyday People party, you start to see that she's kind of giving in to like how much she likes him, right? She's
Yeah.
not quite ready to admit it yet, but she's starting to. And so I just wanted to read a little bit of their interaction at the Everyday People party. And hopefully you guys will enjoy. So, and pretend that this is with a British accent. I am not going to butcher it and try and speak in a British accent, but just imagine that in your head, right? So this is Liv speaking. I felt the smile on my face growing exponentially. Then, despite my best avoidance efforts, Thomas's eyes caught mine in a deep and penetrating stare before he expertly dragged them down to my lips, subtly licking his at the same time. Yeah, that certainly isn't going to help me not feel all swoony around him. Thankfully, the DJ became my saving grace as he switched up the tunes and began playing yet another one of my all-time favorite songs, Creep by TLC. He was most definitely in a 90s music zone, and I loved it. So much so that my legs began bouncing to the music, even as Thomas and I fixed our eyes on each other. To keep the little bit of composure I had remaining, I took the playful tone of the song as my chance to change the vibe between us and began mouthing the lyrics as I started my two step. So just think about the song. Thomas says, "Oh, so this is your jam, huh?" he asked, bouncing his limbs in step with mine. Yes, I mean, how can you not love TLC, yeah? You're not wrong. All-time classic female group right there. Exactly. I continued swaying my body to the beat as we talked, inciting more and more smiles from Thomas, a fact that I didn't exactly mind as a side effect to my love for the song. Well, don't let me stop you, he said, nodding in the direction of my friends, as if he was reluctantly giving me permission to go back toward them. I had another thought in mind, however. I didn't know if it was the swagger of Left Eye creeping into my bones or the idea of him walking away again that propelled me to push past my fears. But before I could second guess myself, I grabbed Thomas's hand and pulled him back toward me. As soon as his body was close enough that I could practically feel his heart beating, I turned around so that my back now faced his chest, winding my butt and torso in a circle as T-Boz's raspy vocals intermixed with the trumpet and drums on the song. To his credit, Thomas barely skipped a beat, pressing his frame into mine and mimicking my dancing style in a perfect rhythm. It was almost as if we were created to melt into each other, the way our limbs seamlessly moved together, his hips meeting mine in a move that felt so sinfully amazing. So you're sure I had nothing to do with you choosing to come here today? He asked, whispering into my ear as we continued grinding to the song. It was just for a good time? I leaned my body into his and turned my head slightly backward so that I could see his eyes in my periphery as I replied, Well, in London, we have a right to silence, yeah? If a person is on trial and thinks their answer may incriminate them, sort of like your Fifth Amendment. I'm aware, he responded with a deep chuckle in my ear. Good. Then you'll understand when I choose not to respond to this line of questioning. And you can certainly do that, Liv, Thomas says. But just know that means I'm exercising my right to assume that it was all me. I didn't respond. There really was no need to because he knew, and I knew that he knew, he was right. Instead, I continued dancing to the sounds of TLC as the DJ began blending in the melody for Red Light Special, automatically grinding our moves down to a sultry whine. Thomas took the opportunity and wrapped me in his arms, forcing our bodies to move as one in a rhythm likely only intended for dance floors with no lights or private bedrooms. Instead, there we were out under the illumination of a 3 p.m. sun, slowly letting our bodies do all the talking we'd had difficulty accomplishing with our mouths, exposed for anyone and everyone to see if they wanted, including Reagan and her girls who I'd yet to return to. I didn't care though. In that moment and with that man, I'd managed to forget all my rules. And instead of continuing to fight it, I finally closed my eyes, took in the deepest breath, and let him and his Lalabo cologne sweep me away.
Child, Darby, child, pull out the fan. That is like one of my favorite scenes because I can. Okay, first of all, y'all know if you used to go to like a party or whatever, y'all already know when you turn around and you back. Okay, never mind.
Right?
Anyway, y'all know,
You know,
y'all
Angela.
already know. But literally, I felt like I was at the party. I was like, man, okay. Darby, I know there is a playlist for this book. Is
Yes.
there a playlist, my friend?
Absolutely. There is a playlist. So I usually do, well, not usually, I have done a playlist for every book in the Friendship Chronicles. This one is no different. So the playlist is on my website. I know we were going to get into like where you can reach me, but it's on my website, darbybaham.com, and you can just literally click on it. There's a tab that says music playlists, and you will get the Spotify playlist that includes all of the songs that are referenced in the book.
I love it. Darby, you read like I was like, that's one of my favorite scenes. Oh my
Yay!
goodness. Thank you so much. Antoinette, she said that was a great snippet to whet Arita's appetite. Yes,
Thank you.
Antoinette. So, guys, if you have not gotten your copy of her New York Minute, this is definitely one of those tell a friend, buddy, read it. Oh my goodness, Helen, your book club. Let me just tell you, y'all will have a good time reading this one as well. Guys, this is her New York Minute. Darby, the time go by so fast, my friend. It has been amazing hanging out with you and talking about your latest release, her New York Minute, my friend. And of course, guys, there is a giveaway. I'm super, super excited about this giveaway because I had the honor of receiving what this giveaway is going to be. And so I'm gonna let Darby tell you because I'm when she told me what the giveaway for tonight was gonna be, I was like, oh my goodness, somebody is in for a treat. Darby, what is the giveaway on tonight, my friend?
I'm going to tell you that, but I just wanted to, you said Helen has a book club. I have a reading guide for her New York Minute that you can download for free, also on my website. So go to that, Helen, if you guys decide to read the book as part of your book club. But so the giveaway is a signed book box. So if you have not, if tonight's your first time meeting me, then you don't know yet that I love creating book swag boxes for each of
She
the
has
books in
the
the
best
series.
book boxes, guys. Let me tell you. God, go ahead and talk about it, Barry.
It is something
I'm
I
just gonna kind
really
of share
enjoy.
them
Yeah.
little things
Um, and
here.
so this one includes a signed copy of her New York Minute. It includes a candle. It's an organic candle. It smells amazing. And then on top of
Smells
the
so good.
candle is a QR code to the playlist. So you can listen to the music while you light your candle. There's also some under eye patches for the city that never
Mhm.
sleeps. Um, there you go. And it's a great brand, by the way. There's there's like a postcard. There you go. There's a New York City postcard. There's a New York City bookmark. There's some, just like stickers in there that are about New York. Obviously, we got a theme going on here. Um, there is just a thank you card from me that's in there that has
Yes.
a cute animated, or not animated, but illustrated graphic from this illustrator who I commissioned with Veronica Jameson, who is amazing. And then, of course, there's the books. So there's a signed copy of her New York Minute, and then a bonus book that has the Shoe Diaries and a Rayanne Thane book that I also sign. So that is the book box.
There you go. Oh my goodness.
Yay.
Guys, I love it. So I'm super duper excited. And Darby, you're going to help me out, my friend. We're going to go up and down the comment section.
Okay.
And when you feel ready and when you feel led, you're going to tell me when to stop. And that person will be the winner of the Her New York Minute at Darby at Baham a book box. Okay. Are you ready, Darby?
I'm ready.
Okay. I am ready. I'm going up and down the comment sections.
And I'm going to say stop now.
Okay. Antoinette Gates, you're up, my friend. You
Woo!
are the winner of a Darby Baham Her New York Minute book box. If you will inbox me your information, my friend, I'll be sure to get that over to Darby Baham on today. Darby, it has been amazing hanging out with you,
Same
talking
here.
about the Friendship Chronicles as a series, talking about your latest release, Her New York Minutes. Guys, let me just tell you, we will be sharing how you can get your hands on a copy of this book. I will also have Darby to actually go down the list of book 1, 2, and 3, in case you guys want to go back and read those books in the series as well. And then, of course, we'll be giving you the information about Her New York Minute. And it is available, guys, in ebook and print. And guess what? Y'all know I'm a multiple formatter. I have a copy in on my Kindle, and I also have the print copy of this book as well. It is definitely a fun read. I mean, think about the snippet that Darby shared with us. I know y'all was on the edge of y'all seats. Let me tell y'all, that was some party. Okay, I love it. I love it. But Darby, definitely share with us how can we get our hands on a copy of Her New York Minutes.
Yeah, so I mean honestly, it's you can get it wherever you like to purchase your books. So whether that's your local indie bookseller, if you have a favorite online retailer, maybe you like Amazon, maybe you like Barnes and Noble, Target, that kind of thing. Maybe you like Bookshop or IndieBound. It's on all of those. You can also, I've made it easy. You can go to my website at darbybaham.com/books. And there are direct purchase links to many of those places. So if you prefer Amazon, there's a link right there and you can click it. If you like Target, Barnes and Noble, like I said, there's also a few indie bookstores that I've partnered with across the country. So they have books that you can, get from them. Or if you choose to do like an indie bound or a bookshop in your own community, you can order from them as well.
I love that. I love it. And also, Zarby, I want to let you know that one of the sponsored bookstores, indie bookstores of the Literary Cafe, Riches and Reading, they have copies of Her New York Minutes as
Yay.
well. So I will definitely be putting, there is a direct link that you guys can put, that you can go to for Riches and Reading Indie Bookstore. And she has copy of Her New York Minute as well. I love that. I love that. So guys, tell a friend to tell a friend, go get you a copy. Once you read it, leave a review. I know that Darby Baham will be so
Please.
appreciative. And of course, you're going to want to go back and read the other books in this particular series as well. And you're going to be looking forward to what's next in the Friendship Chronicles series as well. Now, Darby, before you share with us how we can stay connected with you, my friend, please share with us, what did you enjoy about writing Her New York Minute? Because it seemed like it was a fun book for you to write.
It was a fun book for me to write. I'm glad that comes through the page. The funny thing is, I mentioned this, I think, when I did when I unboxed the books for the first time on my Instagram account. I started writing this book and then I pitched the book back in 2022, right? as I was writing the book, I started having similar experiences in my personal life that sort of matched with the book. So it was kind of a way for me to um, really get some writing therapy through the book. And I think maybe some of the joy that Olivia experiences in the book, you can really feel it because I was experiencing that same kind of joy as I was writing the book. So that is, it's certainly something that I attribute to just like the time in my life that I ended up writing this book. It just kind of ended up being fate that maybe when I pitched it, if you believe in manifestation, maybe when I pitched it, it was on the way to me. I don't know, but I certainly could relate to some of the things that Olivia goes through in the book, and I think that makes it feel that much more authentic when you're reading it. You get that first person intimate perspective of
Mhm.
this character who is like, okay, yeah, I really like this person, but this person wasn't in my plans. So what do I do now?
Mhm.
And how do I learn
Mhm.
to embrace something that's really good that's in front of me that I hadn't planned for and I didn't expect.
Mhm. Thank you so much for sharing that as well, guys. And that is our show today. We have been hanging out with Darby Baham, guys, talking about her latest release, her New York Minute. Definitely, guys, tell a friend to tell a friend, grab your book club, grab a friend, do a buddy read, all of that good stuff. Make sure that you get you a copy as well. And Darby, Helen said, thank you for sharing with us
Thank you,
tonight. And good
everyone.
night to everyone
Thanks,
as
Helen.
well. And guys, of course, like I said, once you read it, definitely leave a review for Darby as well. And of course, Darby, we can't let you leave the cafe without sharing with us. How can we stay connected with you, my friend?
Well, there's a few ways, and it's really easy because they all have my name in them, right? So I am very frequently on Twitter and Instagram, both under at Darby Baham. You will find me chatting in the comments. You'll find me posting on Insta Story. Um, I am regularly, my DMs are open, so I'm always interested in getting to know readers and talking to readers and just getting your feedback. So I'm always on. Probably on a little bit too much, but I'm always on Twitter and Instagram. You can, if you want more of a, come to your email type of connection, I have my monthly newsletter that you can subscribe to. And you can subscribe to that at darbybaham.com/newsletter. Again, it's always under my name, so it should be easy to find me. And that is a monthly newsletter that comes out sort of mid-month every month. And it's really for the people who maybe you're not on social media as much, so you just want that, like, these updates to come directly to your email. And I try to give one or two things to the newsletter subscribers before it goes to social media, right? So for example, in January, the newsletter subscribers were the first people to get the downloadable reading guide link before I promoted it, on any other platform. So just those kind of things, just to give people a little bit of incentive to subscribe to the newsletter. You get the first dibs on some of the some of the announcements of what's going on with me and with my books.
I love that. I love that. With Darby, and thank you so much for hanging out with me, my friend. I love it. And guys, as Darby stated, you can follow her on social media. You can go to her website at darbybaham.com. In addition to that, you can sign up for her newsletter, all of that good stuff, and you can get the goods on what's going on with her and what she have going on next and what's coming up next, all of that good stuff as well. Thank you so much, Darby. And we want to wish you here from the cafe a happy release week, an amazing release month, all of that good stuff that people will continue to talk about this series and your latest release, her New York Minute as well. Guys, that is our show. Definitely you can stay connected with me. You can follow me on social medias. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angela Anderson's YouTube as well. And tell a friend, invite them to the cafe to come and hang out with us as well. That's our night on tonight. Have an amazing day, because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Get you a copy of her New York Minute.
Yay. Have a good night. Thanks, everyone.
Good night.